Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and the us are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You're loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. I came across this very video I'm going to leave out right now. And I said, why not we have some discussion? Why does it seem like AI is against? I don't know. I just hope you understand what I'm saying. Because AI has gotten out of control. And it seemed like it's going to get worse as the day go by. Or it's getting worse as the day go by. Because some of them have argued that it is because the question is being asked to favor black people. And this is a white woman who had asked this question. And she is white. So why didn't AI detect that she was white to answer the question based on her color? But AI is still giving something that is of the favor of the Africans, the original man on earth. I have been talking about this some months ago, some good months ago, maybe a year ago, where we were delving into the existence of man, the origin of man, how the originals of the earth came to be, and who are really the originals of the earth. And many of you thought Abigail was racist, right? Now this is AI. So is AI now racist anyway? Our white brothers and sisters said it was because a black man asked the question. So now let's listen to a white woman finding out the truth, and we'll take it off from there, Your Majesties.
Wait a minute. So all men also have something in them that is a continuation of a black man?
Yes. Just like all humans carry mitochondrial DNA from a black African woman through their maternal line, all men carry a Y chromosome that descends directly from a black African man through the paternal line. No matter your current race, nationality, or skin tone, your existence is a continuation of those original humans. That's what it means to say, we're all black, just in different shades. Y chromosomal Adam. He represents the most recent common patrilineal ancestor, the man whose Y chromosome has been passed down through only father-to-son lines to all men today. He lived roughly 60,000 to 90,000 years ago, based on current genetic estimates. That's much later than mitochondrial Eve. So why the gap? Because female lines survive more often than unbroken male lines. All children carry their mother's mtDNA, but only sons carry the Y chromosome, and sons must have sons to continue that Y line. If a man has only daughters, his Y line ends. If a male lineage stops due to war, famine, social structures, or random chance, that Y line is erased. Some men father many children, others none. Women's reproductive contribution is more even. So over tens of thousands of years, many male Y lines went extinct while the female mitochondrial line remained more stable. Mitochondrial Eve and Y chromosomal Adam did not live at the same time and were not a couple. They are genetic convergence points. Not the first humans, but the most recent common ancestors through one single unbroken line. All mothers for Eve, all fathers for Adam.
And I've seen some comments in deep denial or cognitive dissonance of this reality of our collective roots. I even saw comments where people were trying to distance themselves from being Homo sapiens. And they were saying how that their ancestors were Neanderthals, not Homo sapiens. So let's see what my shifted AI has to say about that.
Homo sapiens are the only surviving human species, and every living human today is a direct descendant of early black African Homo sapiens. Neanderthals were a separate species of archaic human that lived mostly in Europe and parts of Western Asia. They had distinct traits, including a more robust frame and different facial structure, but they went extinct. The only reason any Neanderthal DNA still exists is because of interbreeding between Neanderthals and migrating Homo sapiens. So, if someone is alive today, they are not descended from Neanderthals instead of Homo sapiens. They may have some Neanderthal DNA, but their main ancestry, their species, is Homo sapiens, and that species originated in Africa. All humans, no matter their current skin color, come from black African ancestors. To deny your own origin is to be at war with yourself, and that war gets projected outward. They were taught to build their identity on distance from origin, to define themselves as not black, as if blackness was the thing to overcome rather than the source they emerged from. So, when the truth surfaces that the womb and the seed that began humanity were black, it doesn't just collapse a lie, it collapses them, or rather the self they were told to be. And what rushes in to replace that collapse is often hatred, toward the source, toward truth, and ultimately toward themselves. Because if what they were taught to reject is what they actually are, then everything becomes unbearable. That's why denial of black origin is not just racism, it's existential panic. And hatred is the shield they hide behind. Yes, every human alive today is a descendant of a black African woman. That is the structural and biological truth. Mitochondrial Eve lived in East Africa around 150,000 to 200,000 years ago. She was a black African woman, as all humans at that time were. She is the matrilineal ancestor of every person alive today. Every living human's mother's line leads back to her. Whether you're from China, Sweden, Brazil, India, Iran, or the US, if you are alive today, your unbroken maternal line comes from a black woman from Africa. And since humans interbred across lineages, all other lines also trace back to Africa, even if not through the maternal line. Every person alive today is the child, through their mothers, of a black African woman. That is not metaphor, that is human ancestry.
That is no metaphor, that is human ancestry. And then we have people who look so much like us who are saying that they are not from Africa. So we still have people who say the out of Africa theory is just a theory, it's not real. People are saying that the out of Africa is just a theory, it's not a reality. Your Majesties, I have been talking about this here. I have been saying the same thing here. AI has attested to the fact that this is the truth of us living at this time. Now, when it made mention of Adam and Eve are not the first humans, I have said that here as well. They are not the first humans, but religion wants us to believe that Adam and Eve are the first humans created. But that's not true. They are just the recent humans, not the first. Maybe you rewind and listen keenly to what AI has to say. So, even though we want to say we want to debunk these AI statements, there are still truths that are carried in this message, which we have been aware of before, and it's repeating. That is to say, this is credible, Your Majesties. And the fact still remains that life started from here. I believe that most of us watched that video where the Dr. Kihura Nkuba, had explained to us that UNESCO is also aware of this. It's in their documents that life started from Africa, just like this AI has stated. Maybe I'm going to roll in his discussion again. So we listen to it, listen to some others, because I have talked about this too much and I do not want to talk again over and over. So we listen to these discussions, leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. Remember, when we tell you that life started from Africa, we are not overhyping the continent. We are not taking the glory. We are not dragging with anybody. These are facts that you can do your research on. I keep telling you here, try to do your own research about things Abigail say. Don't just come out and say, oh, Abigail is a lie, oh, Abigail is true. Just do your own research about it. Get to the truth yourself. Understand why it is the way it is. And still, this is not trying to force anybody into becoming African. This is not saying that the FBAs are not right. This is not looking down on anybody. This is just something I came across. And I just felt like it is good that I bring it here so that we deliberate upon it. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.
This universe was born 24 billion years ago. They grow the Negroid race here first. They became known as the overseers. the Watchers. They built many ancient lands and structures on this planet, which in time they deserted. The Riskians send little creatures called Greys from Zeta in Orion's belt every 10 years to check on their children, with whom they mix their DNA into 9 species of the Negroid race only. They first came to me at age 9 in New Jersey to set up a land, Nuwapia, for a landing site for your ancestors to return and lift those of you who have perfected their beings, cleansed inside out and outside in. Your DNA as males is from Orion. Your DNA as females is from Sirius star systems, and the Greys from Zeta beneath Orion's 3 suns, or the sun belt. So in actual fact, the African race are of divine origin and are in fact children of the overseers. This is seen as a bacteria implanted in your genetics as hominid genome, as was done by the overseers from Orion and Sirius. Your carbon C6 base form as black as coal grow from H1HCCON7O8 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 24. Hydrogen equals 1. Helium equals 2. Carbon equals 6. Nitrogen equals 7. Oxygen equals 8. In all, 24. There has been uncovered 223 extra-terrestrial genes in your 24,000 genomes that travel in sets of 3 on the genes. So they in fact implanted some of their own DNA into your own. You are encoded as divine. Black matter equals 24%. Black energy equals 76%. Dark energy is expanding. Dark matter is being pulled as the universe speeds up to freeze. The planet Earth, or the water world, is moving at a speed of 135 miles per second. You have been hypnotized 6,000 years ago by witches of the cursed evil seed of Enos, son of Seth, son of Adam, made by fallen ones of Anakim, Anunnaki, called Elohim, Alihat in the Bible and the Quran. The Anunnaki used the Pleiadians' DNA to graft and make Adamites, to Cainites, to Canaanites. Their seeds was grafted, made and born 3,761 BCE, or 4004 BC, as they record, and was only given 6,000 years to enforce their hypnotic spell of sleep over you, which expires 2000 to 2003 AD, which is 6000 AC. AC is Adam's calendar. This is the gospel from the beginnings of beginnings. This is from the beginnings, which we have seen, which we have looked at and watched and have taught humans are the only creatures that know they will one day die. This has affected human thinking as the birth of fear. Don't let others cause your death before your physical or mental time. Fear came with uncertainty, or that led to faith and beliefs that became religions of beliefs, to hopes and desires. This I Yanun proclaim concerning you and your life as Nuwapians. Life is both physical and spiritual. It appears we see them in actions and testifies to them. I Yanun proclaim to you the eternal soul, which or who is connected to the omniverse from the universe and has manipulated through us here on physical earth. So I proclaim to you what you can see and hear, so that you also may have links to all, as all of you, the all. Know this, left brain is male power analytical, and right brain is female images. These two must become one, perfection of thinking and doing energy in motion, or emotional beings, soul. This is the symbol of the braid worn on the left or the right side by the holder of the double helix of the mitochondrial DNA of female or M other, mother of us both. And the male wears his braid in the back to relate to the back of the medulla oblongata. Yet both mother and father, male and female, need to connect and use the frontal lobe of the brain and the pineal gland. This is a part of my message to you. You have heard from above and is declared to you. Intellect, do not become blinded by the brightness of white light of confusion and chaos. There is no light inside your being. Light is blinding. It is blindness or faith. Not intelligent or intelligence of fact. Even the Bible and the Quranic God dwell in darkness. Then said, let there be light. And with the light came chaos.